Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the southwest, ending with Team 2 in the northeast. Starting off with Team 1's regular sub player in forest green. He is an Aeon of Wuka. Going first land, he is a 1400. Traveling northward, we have in Ruby Red, the Cybern player Muchala going first land as a Cybern. He is a 1300. In going the dark green here, 2 ways north, we have Mr. Death going first land as a UEF. He is a 1400. In the middle lineup here for Team 1, we have in Tropical Ocean Blues. Zixter going first land as a Seraphim. And again, that is Zixter as a 1400. In orange, the color orange to his south, we have Hermos Hobby going first line as a UEF. He is a 1500, the highest rated player on Team 1. And apologies to those who do speak German. I definitely brutally, did not pronounce that correctly, so apologies ahead of time and for that as well. And to his east, we have Jack Attack going first line as a Seraphim. He is a 1300 in Rust. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have all the factions represented with 2 UEF and 2 Seraphim to back up one of each of the other factions. Starting off with Team 2's northeast. Actually, no, we'll start with the regular sub player in lightish red pink. We have Squealo going first land, second air as a UEF. He is a 1200. To his south in emerald green, we have Lil Sid Little going first land as a UEF. He is a 2500. The highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall by a large margin. And to his south, we have in Chevy Crimson Colvoni going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1200. In Pac-Man Yellow, we have Yo Asakura going first land, second air as a Cybern. He is a 1300. And Batman Gray to his north, we have Count Swagula going first land, second air as an Aeon. He is an 1100. And to his west, we have in light oak tan Ruma. I'm assuming the H is silent, going first and second land as a Cybern. In light oak tan as a 1200. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 2 UEF, and 2 Aeon, which means Team 2 lacks Seraphim technology. And for 12 players on the map, let's take a look at how much reclaim they have to scoop up. It is currently sitting at 32,000 reclaim, which means for each player, it's about 2.5 thousand mass to scoop up in the map. And specifically, there's just 40 mass sitting in the mountainous area down here. Because why not? Why not just have a tiny bit of mass hiding somewhere on the map? And speaking of mass, of course, let's take a look at the mechs positions here for Team 2 side of the map. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 quad mechs positions here to grab, as well as a couple of one-offs on the way to the middle of the map. The middle of the map, very devoid of any sort of, well, mountainous terrain or any terrain besides just flat. So it's going to be realistically just a large land battle in the middle of the map. Not really a lot of opportunities for any sort of hook maneuvers or flanking, any sort of things. We realistically will see that essentially on the west and eastern edges of the map in the middle. And as well as, of course, the southeastern corner of that, completely devoid of any usable land, maybe except for this position where you could maybe fit like an intel installation, but that's essentially it. I don't see any other opportunities for either team to really use this space on the map, which is good and bad. Bad because you can't build anything there. Good because it does allow for aircraft to be able to fly in and out. Not really relatively noticed. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised to see AA being built along the edge of this giant mountainous area. And obviously Omnis all littered around that area as well. In the northwestern corner, there's a little bit of a nice encapsulated, maybe that's what I'm looking for, little area with a couple of mechs is. Again, same type of environment, very treacherous, mountainous, maybe mountainous is the word. I'm struggling with my English today. And again, in the northwest corner, a couple more mechs, but that's really about it in terms of the map. Let's go ahead and see where our players are headed so far. We do see movement to the northwestern corner. It's going to be a 1v1 as of right now between Ruma and Mr. Death. Bombers outbound here from Team 2's Air Going northward, looks like they're actually going to either stop any sort of incursions from Team 2 for this encapsulated area over here, or looks like just securing the territory for now while engineers move, dropping right here, it looks like, and then going into that little valley area. We do see Team 2's Yo moving southwestwardly, assisted by Count, Squealer, and Colvino, and as well as Lil Said Little. So everybody else on Team 2 moving to the middle of the map. And of course, as a reminder, Uma moving it north, actually directly west, and then probably directly south to intercept Team 1's Mr. Death. Mr. Death's going to go for a nice little position up here. We'll have to contend with some units outbound from his opponent, but for now, they're not engaging, so definitely going to be a nice little relief here for Team 1's Mr. Death. We do hear bombers throwing some shots down, or some bombs down. Looks like it's outbound here from Team 1's Ed, going after some engineers on movement orders, looking like they're trying to get some reclaim, and there goes one, scorched to death, or burned to death. Burnt? It's burnt. Is it burnt to death, or is it burned to death? I think it's burnt. Anyway, English is very annoying. It's my first language, and it's annoying. Anyway, we do see, of course, Motulal, what is it, Jakataj, and Wuka not moving to engage, so it looks like it's going to be a 4v5 in the middle of the map here. Units have dropped here from Team 1's Mutulala as well, so Team 1 heavily focusing on this encapsulated area, making sure Team 2 does not engage in any sort of way with that area of the map. I do hear shots firing somewhere. It looks like it's outbound from the Sky Slammer over here, going after units flying overhead. Gun speed has been started for Covino in the east. Not going for the range. In this scenario, I would definitely go for the range. The middle of the map is kind of devoid of realistically anything. And one T1 Tham isn't really that much to be concerned about. So going for range would help a little bit better. But I do understand, just in case Team 1 just rushes him down, having that extra fire rate definitely will assist with defensive measures. But again, I feel like Team 2 could easily go on the attack, especially if it's 5v4 in the middle of the map. In the northwest, we see just the expansionary efforts of Mr. Death. Just going to, again, build up his factories and just to ensure he can pump out as many units as he can. And we do see lots of pings going down here, most likely from Team 1. Units just moving around here for Team 1. Again, making sure that they secure every section of that valley, making sure Team 2 does not land any troops anywhere in that territory. We do see, again, that gun speed will finish, and Lil Said Little just going to be reclaiming around the map. Team 1's Jackatash and just moving around, just kind of, getting some reclaim, not really, bothering anybody. And Ed goes for his gun damage and range upgrade, and at the same time, Jack going for his gun speed and range upgrade. Lots of gun upgrades going to be established here for both of the teams in the middle of the map. Again, Team 1's player Vuka has not left his main base, but does have T2 air on land, so again, that is the benefit of being on location, as you can direct your engineers a lot easier, and you don't have to keep running around the map figuring out which is what, where, why, that kind of thing. T2 air has been finished here for Team 2 is Lil Said Little. He is going to be the air player here for Team 2 for the time being. Secondary air player here of Squealer, and possibly maybe a tertiary air player here for Count Swagula, just because their bases are a little bit further back from that front line. Forces are starting to congregate here on the eastern side here for Team 2, both of Yo and from Colvino. Of course, Lil Said Little just accompanying Team 2's Colvino. He does have range and speed online. Team 1's Jackatash is going to have his upgrade completed very soon, so we'll be able to fight back against that Aeon almost sniper commander. We do see that gun damage and range is almost done as well here for Ed in the west. So again, going to be 2 gun comms here so far for Team 1. Going to face off against 1 gun comm. Nobody else on Team 2 has really gone for any sort of upgrades besides the little engineering drone here for Lil Said Little. Gun damage and range and speed of range online here for both players in the northwest. They're actually mirroring each other quite well. And territory definitely a little bit in favor of Team 2, at least for the northwest. Team 1 obviously in favor over here, so definitely evens out. T2 coming online here for Mutulao, coming into it again, just close off this avenue of attack here from Team 2. Once that T2 finishes, to be able to get those Cerberus PD online, to be able to lock out those Team 1 units very, very quickly. Gun damage range has been started for Zixter in the middle of the map. And it looks like the first calm-on-calm action might be occurring here between Jackatage and Colvino. Colvino has already taken some shots. Looks like it's already been throwing some plasma at one another. And again, they do the same amount of damage, so no advantage in that way or the other. But there is a slight hit point advantage for Team 1's Jack at 500 additional hit points. Not a lot, but again, one hit point could make the difference, so you just never know. Units outbound from Team 2's middle player of Yo coming in to assist Colvino, and it looks like Jackatage is going to have to force his units forward to just either force back the units here from Team 2's Yo or just keep the engage going. Jackatage is going to get the better end of the deal because the mass will be on his side of the map, and he's going to get some nice veterancy here to be able to hopefully get to 1 star. Things go down here from probably Team 2's Colvino's teammates saying, hey, you should probably retreat. These forces outbound from Jack are just a little bit overwhelming. There's still some forces online, given the fact that 2 armies were over here from Team 2, and now we have Ed with his gun upgrade coming in to assist. Jack does fall into the lower section of the red, so has to be very careful. Gets a nice overcharge, killing off 3 more units. Is almost at 1 star veterancy. Just needs a couple more units killed off, and is at now 931 out of 1,000 mass killed. Team 1 looks like they're pushing back at Team 2 due to the fact that now that army in the middle here for Yo is now gone. He needs to rebuild it. T2 coming online here for Squealer in the middle, and gun speed has been started for Count Swagular in the west. And Team 1 has established that position here. They have Service Pretty, PD, and now some Triads, some UEF variety as well. Love the mix of units, and Structure Share would like to see some shields. Doesn't matter which ones at this point. I prefer UEF, but the T2 Cybran, the really, really cheap ones, actually very nice. Just because they're super cheap, that's why they're nice. In the northwest, we see T2 has been starting here from Mr. Death. He's going to be a little bit more on the defensive side versus the offensive side. He wants his opponent of Ruma to come and attack him. It will take him longer to retreat, especially with this mountainous area not providing a nice little straight shot. Stealth has been started for Ruma. He'll probably go for Nano after that. Gun range has been started here for Count Swagular, finishing off with that speed upgrade. And Team 2's listed little at T3 Air headquarters. So again, just going to start being able to pump out some ASF. Team 1, do you have T3? Yes, you do. So both of the green players, at least the darker greens, or the dark green and the middle green, and then you have the light green, they're going for air. Team 2 in the rear guard air slot, the actual rear guard air slot, we have Squealer going T3, and no T3 outbound from the Aeon player of Count Swagular, but a little bit more focused on the land side of things, so I don't blame him. He could go for T2 at a minimum just to get some gunships or, that sort of thing. Maybe even some Mercies if he really wants some Mercies, but I don't really see Mercies anymore ever since they got changed from their snipe capabilities to just kind of the AoE, like, linger ability that the artillery kind of have. But the new animation of the Percy's, like not Percy's, but the Mercy, like when it lands on the ground, it looks nice, but I do kind of miss like watching just guided missiles fly across the map and land on a target. I do kind of miss that, to be fair. Jackatage moving forward with the assistance of air. Team 2 is being forced back here. Little was on the front line, but it has now retreated. Probably should come back to the front line to assist. Team 1, as you can see, starting to push Team 2 ever so slightly back. It's inching forward bit by bit. But I do like this from Team 2 Squealer. Just has some air scouts flying over top. Not really doing a whole lot, but just providing a little bit of vision, a little bit of radar in this position. You can see they're just kind of constantly circling that 40 mass that's going to probably sit there for the rest of the game, to be fair. Reduce the engagement in the northwest here for Team 1 and Team 2. Mr. Death versus Ruma. Ruma does have stealth, but doesn't have the nano. Mr. Death has T2 and gun. We're sitting at 14,000 hit points versus 12,000 hit points. Team 1's Mr. Death has the advantage there, but he's not focusing on the comm. He's focusing on the units, trying to go for that veterancy. Does have 1-star veterancy now. We'll get an additional 10% hit points. All of his units sitting over here to the west need to engage. That comm is constantly concentrated his efforts on Mr. Death. He needs to start retreating to, again, just avoid the fact that he's in the yellow now, and his opponent is not overcharged. Kills off more Mantis, open the door a little bit more for his Dragsters to move in. A couple of them take the high road, apparently. because apparently that's what they do. And shield has been canceled for Corvino. Now we see Team 1's Mr. Death pushing forward with some PD. He doesn't want to force the issue. He doesn't want to kill off Ruma just initially, but wants to secure the area. Looks like he actually stops so that his engineers can again secure a nice little retreat point for him. He does have a T1 right behind them as well. Going to get some radar online as well to be able to assist in the shots. And we do see more reclaiming going down here for Mr. Death. Ruma again running around trying to go after those units as well. Almost at 1-star veterancy. 5 mass short of a 1-star veterancy. Mr. Death is dropping very, very quickly here. Again, T2 Rhino online as well for Ruma. So Team 1 being heavily forced back here in the northwest. And the radar is online. Going to be able to provide some signatures here for Team 1's Mr. Death. But again, the radar will not do anything against the radar jamming station or the systems on board Ruma's comm. And he will be able to see him, but we won't be able to, essentially ping his location. And the gun comm here for Ruma continuing to push forward. I don't think this is the best idea. Again, the further that Ruma pushes south, the longer it'll take him to retreat. He does have some units coming in, going to be able to blitz down that triad. And Mr. Death will have to be on the retreat for the time being and establish a nice backline position for himself. But the victory has been won by Team 2 in that northwestern corner. Lots of T2 units coming online here for both of the teams here in the middle. Zigster is in the yellow. It does have gun and 1-star veterancy. In the east, we have Jackatage at 1-star veterancy with gun and Air at 1-star veterancy with gun. So a lot of the frontline players for Team 1 do have 1-star veterancy. Again, additional 10% hit points and a little bit more regen. Not a lot, but just a little bit. In the southwest, how's the air grid going here for Wuka? Not really focusing on it too heavily, getting his power sorted out. Same kind of thing going in for the east here for Lil Sid Little. Again, the exact same thing over here for Squirrel. It's going to take a little bit more time to really see a decent amount of ASFs appear on in the game. It's mainly land for right now. Team 2 has not decided to land in this valley enclosed area over here. Team 1, again, getting a decent amount of mass from this. Could probably upgrade to T2 Mechs just to get a little bit more out of it. I would not upgrade beyond that. Maybe you could go for mass storage just because why not? But anything beyond that, T3, it's not worth it. A couple of strap bombers, gunships, whatever come in and eviscerate all of that mass. So not really worth it. But I feel like T2 fully ringed is definitely worth in that enclosed area. Chrono Dampener started for Corvino, not going for shield, which means he will be on the front line. He does not have advanced range. I would highly recommend going for that first before Chrono. I feel like having that, it kind of puts you at a disadvantage or at the same range as your opponent. Having the Chrono Dampener will be able to attack at further range. Sorry, the advanced range before Chrono Dampener, but unless you really have a huge push coming, don't really see that really working out for him. At least in the long term. In the short term it might, but long term, don't really see it. Loyalist online here for Team 2's Yo, going after those Ilshis. Of course, they have those EMP weapons and the ability to redirect missile, not tactical missiles, and Billy Nukes. Gotta watch out for those redirect on those Billy Nukes. And of course, the cruisers can now do that here for the Seraphim as well, which in my last ladder match showcased that. Didn't know that. It was in the most recent patch, so that's why I didn't know about it. So I appreciate the viewers who did say, hey, that's a new thing. That's just in the last patch, so just wanted to let you know kind of thing. And I do appreciate that. I do read the comments, of course, and respond to every single one of them. And sometimes, for some reason, YouTube likes to hold them in review, so I have to like occasionally go into the review section and see why they're there, which I've never seen any comment so far that's been egregious to the point where it's not going to be visible. I was like, this is just a normal comment. And it was also from people that have commented before, almost the exact same thing, very similar. So I was very confused by YouTube, but YouTube is weird sometimes. I don't know. It's the algorithm or whatever just thinks something was misconstrued as something else, and it's just a little bit frustrating. But again, that's just what we have to deal with here on YouTube. But anyway, Yo pushing forward here against Air and Team 1 Zigster. Team 2 getting a nice little bulge going on here for them. The downside is that Team 1's Jackatage could easily come in from the side and take out his supply lanes and reinforcements. And again, Yo might be the first casualty of the game if he's not careful. 2 comms coming into range as well as some sniper bots as well. And Yo really needs to watch out where he's going because, again, the further he pushes in, the easier it is for Team 1 to just encircle him. And we can start to see that from Mutalao's forces coming in from the west. Yo has to retreat. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Sniper Bot's also going to force him back as well as 2 comms. And we do see in the east not really a lot of movement. This would be the time for Jackatash to just send most of his units northwest to assist in taking out the comm and those frontline positions of Team 2 in the northwest. Nano repair has been started here for Ruma. Definitely typical for the Sirens, because why not? And Mr. Jet hasn't gone for anything else. He could go for tactical missile. He could go for shield, but I feel like he might go for actually nothing and just focus on unit production. Count Swagula is on the front line trying to go after Mutalao. Mutalao going for the laser. If this finishes, Count Swagula is done and dusted. But there's a lot of forces coming to back him up. He has the shield. Actually, he has the heavy shield, the advanced range, and the speed upgrade. It is the Aeon Sniper Commander full decked up in all its glory. Team 1 might lose its first player. Mutalao will have to cancel the laser upgrade just to get out of range of that comm, which, I mean, can you really get out of range of that Aeon Sniper Commander is the question. And maybe if Team 2's Count Swagula is not cautious enough, he might die here. Again, he's pushing very far forward, just like his teammate was. He's pushing even further into Team 1's territory, to be fair. Mutalao is in the yellow, but he's in the high yellow, so he has a little bit more time. Again, Count Swagula is still in range. I don't think can he still see him? Oh no, he can still see him. There are some ASFs and spy planes flying about to keep that comm in visual range. Mutalao trying to get out of range, but just cannot seem to do so, of course. Once you're in range of that Aeon Sniper Commander, there's really no hope of getting out of there. There are some Titans coming to the rescue. Mutalao gets booped a couple of times. That's not good. Stop pinging, says Mutalao. He's like, stop it. And it looks like he might be able to get out of visual and radar range just barely. ASF's over top here, going to secure the skies above Count Swagula. Again, he is in the deep now. He needs to go for that kill. It's not going to be worth it at this point. Gets a couple more shots off with some, ASF and spy planes flying about here from Team 2. But it looks like there's an air fight going on. Team 1 looks like they've kind of won that air fight, kind of, sort of. Yeah. There's a strat bomber over here, but they doesn't want to engage. Don't blame them there. In the east, another attack outbound here on Polvino's base. Looks like it's got repelled. Not really a whole lot going there, and then in the middle, it's kind of back to normal. But Count Swagula is on the front lines, going after all of these units, just being spammed up here for Team 1. Has a couple of his T2.5 Obsidians online, and Titan's just ripping into Count Swagula's shields, dropping him below 10,000 hit points. Again, still has a long way to go. He needs to start the arduous journey back. He needs to get out of Team 1's territory, or he will die. There is a strat bomber here that could easily be called forth, but there are some ASF from Team 2 just waiting for Team 1 to engage with something. So definitely a close call here, both for Mutalao and for Count Swagula. Again, looks like he will be fine going for some T1 factories to spam up some engineers. There's a couple of strikers here, not really a huge threat here for Team 2's Count Swagula, but again, does have to be careful. The longer this goes on, the more dangerous it is for him. It is very bold of him to just go full send it and try to steal Team 1's, potentially their territory, but it is one of those moves that if it works, it definitely pays off. There's a T2 shield, a T2 P-gen right here, just kind of hanging out. Taking out the rest of those ground units. And more Titans are engaging. Count Swagula might just start to retreat now. And looks like that attack, that vector for those strat bombers are inbound. 3 of them do land. They actually miss their targets. Count Swagula stops, and the trajectory misses. There's a 4th one added to the mix. ASF already on station here for 3 players. 2 of them from Team 1, 1 of them from Team 2. Looks like Lil Sid Little will be able to engage quite nicely against those ASF here from Team 1's air player of Wuka, and those strat bombers have retreated. They will not be able to engage once again. And some more assisting strat bombers, not strat bombers, from ASF from Team 2's Squealer. It looks like the P-gen. If the P-gen blew up, it would have done some damage. Not a lot of damage, but done some damage. Count Swagula is still retreating, but again, he's getting a lot of veterancy. 5-star veterancy on board that commander. Had those strat bombers landed correctly, it'd be very close to death here. And speaking of said strat bombers, 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, and 4 of them will land. Oh, one more will do it. This will be the first kill of the game here at 21 minutes. Kaboom! That is the first departure of the game. 21 minutes and a couple of seconds on the clock. Team 2 now at 5 players left. Team 1 at 6 players left. The kill, of course, being credited by Team 1's Wuka's Strap Bombers. And with that, let's take a look at the game overall. Team 1 sitting at 900 mass income. Team 2 sitting at a little bit more than that, almost 950, 960. The masses keep changing because of power generation and all of that. So we'll say it's about dead even right now, with Team 1 having accumulated about 60,000 mass more than Team 2. We're getting a little bit in favor of Team 1 for the mass and the players left alive at 6 versus 5. Where we see a lot of just Team 1 air scouts here in the southeastern corner and some spy planes, just to ensure that Team 2 is aware of any sort of incursions from Team 1 from this vector. So I love that. Just a couple of units, very cheap, running around. Early warning system, essentially. They could easily just build something here. And that mass is still there, but you know, they could easily build a just T2 radar or something down there. Anyways, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the time and attention you give to these videos, regardless of how much time you actually do give to them. And in the northwest, we see Team 2's Ruma pushing west and south once again. He has Nano and Gun online, facing off against some Percys and a ton of Pillars. It's Rhinos versus Pillars. And honestly, I am a UEF stan, so I'll go with the Pillars in this aspect. Obviously, it looks like there's actually more of them in general anyways. And there's a Percy in there as well. So that's definitely a benefit here for Team 1's Mr. Death. One was called him Lord Death, but that is not his name. I do like the stealth field generator, being able to deny some radar gathering operations from Team 1. You can see they see where the stealth field is, but that's it. They don't see anything else. They just need to be able to pinpoint what's going on that side of the map. I do like this as well, using the natural terrain of this valley, be able to just launch some missiles here, going after some eco for Team 2. They're targeting Ruma, which is actually, I mean, honestly, the one that I would go after, because it would allow Mr. Death to come in a little bit more. It's slowing down the eco gathering operations here for Ruma, which means less units. Less units equals an easier time on the front line. All that sort of thing. Love this play. Would probably have liked to see maybe a stealth field to hide this tactical missile launcher, but again, it's doing a really good job of constantly just annoying Team 2 at a minimum. And there is now a couple of TAC missile defenses coming online here for Ruma to deal with that. Speaking of TAC missiles in the southeast, we have Team 1 Jackatash attacking the base here for Colvino. He does have some volcanoes online, but those can easily be overwhelmed if Team 1 puts enough firepower behind it. And Team 1, speaking of which, is kicking out Yo from his central position in the middle. Oh, I did forget to mention there are a couple of Trimex positions here in the middle of the map to grab. Team 2 is starting to lose their frontline position. They had a very good job of just forcing Team 1 back, but obviously with the death of Count Swagula and Team 2 losing territory, it's not really going good here for Team 1. It's creating a nice little, again, buffer zone. Land is essentially going to be landlocked at some point if Team 2 is forced back into these narrow environments. It'll be good for defensive measures, not necessarily for offensive measures. There is a Fat Boy online here for Team 2's Little Sid Little. And he has a lot of engineering stations, a couple kennels online. Maybe he'll go for an SMD. Maybe he'll go for an early nuke. It looks like he's just going for mass fabs, wanting to scale that eco very, very quickly. He's sitting at 448 mass a second. He has 2 bases, and using the north base here from his his teammate of Count Swagula to just pump out engineers. Probably going for some PGens or whatever. Air grid expansions here for Team 2's air player of Squealer. And obviously the main / secondary air player of Los Little expanding on his air grid as well. With the Fat Boy, it definitely will deter Team 1 from pushing in even further. But again, they've lost a lot of territory already. Team 2 has. The only really bright spot for Team 2 on the land side of things is over here. But again, it's kind of just being body blocked right now by Mr. Death. Nothing is really being gained or lost here, so essentially just a net 0 for both of those players. Laser has been started once again for Mutalal. He does have a nice little monkey online escorting a bunch of engineers. Looks like he might go for cloaking and just run around the map, which you can do that. In this kind of environment, probably not. There is an Omni sitting right here, so that's probably not the best idea. Obviously, that is the range in which Team 2 can see everything indefinitely, so definitely something to watch out for. Of course, they can see the unknown unit. They're just an engineer running around, and actually, speaking of which, they should be able to see that. They don't see what it is, but they know it's a unit. They have seen the monkey now, and those units are continuing to push forward here for Team 1. Again, a monkey or a fat boy. Definitely would pick the fat boy, especially for assaulting a base like this in the south. And little so little going to help Corvino gain more territory in that southern edge of the middle. Team 1 not really pumping a lot into land. They have a chicken closely built here for Jacketage. Air grid again expansion here for Wuka. But I don't see much of any sort of big ticket items from Team 1. No nukes, no artillery, no game enders, no nothing started yet. That can change, and we've seen stuff get built very, very quickly in this game. ASFs do engage here between Team 1 and Team 2. Team 1 having a significant portion of them. Strap Bomber is actually going to be used to take out that fat boy, and I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's a lot of AA here going to be able to rip apart those Strap Bombers very, very quickly, and of course the ASF from Team 2 Squealer do go after the Strap Bombers, at least some of them at a minimum. Looks like the rest of this ASF will die. I don't know if the Strap Bombers were really worth the fat boy kill, but I mean, they do get underneath some T2 shielding, so that'll protect the fat boy for the time being. Would have almost killed it off had it not been for those. Would have killed it off had it not been for those. But as of right now, I mean, I don't know if that was the big investment. There's a lot of AA here mixed in. We have some T1, T2, and T3. And those Strap Bombers aren't going to really get anywhere. Another Strap Bomber outbound from air going after this. But again, just taking out shielding. Not really doing a whole lot of damage to, again, literally anything else. And the Fat Boy able to push back the Sniper Bots in the west. A couple of those Sniper Bots, 3,000, almost 4,000 mass killed, 4-star veterancy. That one has been a long... Oh, this one at 5-star veterancy, 5,000 mass killed on board that one. Out scouting is not very good, says Mutulau. Yeah, Team 1 needs to get their scouting dealt with. They need to get more air scouts and ASF, but spy planes online. The monkey has been killed off by Team 2. There was a lot of PD here. Really chewed through that monkey's hit points. There are some bricks remaining, but that is a nice little mass gift here for Lil Sid Little. Probably just funneling into generating more mass at this point. Now sitting at 500 mass and climbing per second. But Team 1 has forced Ruma back on the northwestern corner of the map. Ruma needs to get a secondary defensive line online. He's funneling all of his mass into a crab. Definitely a good thing to go for, but he's losing territory very quickly. I think he will build the crab just barely. But there are missile launchers outbound here from his teammate of Mutulau, now going after Wilson Little. You could just tack missile snipe the mass, though. Is that what he's... No, he is doing that. Look at that. If I can't have it, no one can, says Team 1. Kills off 1,500 mass. Not bad. And will kill off that T3 mech, so another one is gone here from Team 2's coffers, that being Little specifically. We have some gunships online here for Team 2. Where's the air for Team 1? Team 1 had the air for a while, and they actually still have it, to be fair. It looks like Wuka has 4 Strap Bombers and 68 ASF. Team 2's Wilson Little has 19, and the main air player of Squealer has 24. So essentially it's a 3-2 advantage for Team 1, but they just don't want to engage. Chicken will push forward, will go after the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy needs to retreat, but that chicken is already locked on. And that Fat Boy is going nowhere. Parachute comes online at the last second, but it doesn't matter. There it goes. The chicken, again, just full send it at this point, or even just keep it right here. The unit's retreating here from Team 2's Colvino. Will be fine here. We do see some ASF coming in to shield this reclaim for their team. Another chicken outbound here from another Seraphim player of Zigster. I want to say Jigster for some reason. But I know that's from somewhere. I just can't remember where. But looks like Team 2 will be forced back, especially with the chicken making another appearance. Team 2 has lost their experimental in the southeast. ASF and Team 1 bombers on approach. And a lot of snipers congregating here for Team 1's Zigster. They're escorting the chicken, but again, I'd like to see some more AA. I love the group of snipers, though. I just don't agree with not having AA. especially because now you have some T1 bombers now going after said units. Those units, again, very fragile, but very, very useful. Obviously, when you can attack things at range and the other things can't attack you, that is the best place to be in. For those of you who watch my Warhammer videos, you know my sniper in that game is my favorite unit. Being able to attack at such a long range, it doesn't really matter what the opponent has. They can't hit them unless they get up close and personal. Strap bombers over top of that Monkey Lord. Outbound from Team 2, essentially just going to gift back the mass that they got from Team 1. Brab is online just in time, but the base essentially destroyed for Ruma. It's a nice victory, but again, it's not necessarily a good one. Oh, Percy's, there's a T3 Mechs right here. They're not target. They're trying to go after the T3 land headquarters. I understand that, but you could kill off the T3 Mechs. Ruma only sitting at 53 mass income would have been dropped to essentially 33. Just have a couple of other mixes around, but that is it. Ruma's been knocked out of the fight for the time being. Again, still has a crab, but essentially building any more units is out of the question for Team 2's northern player. And in the middle of the map, again, just more of the same. Kazudi's getting control kit, not really worth the mass cost anymore. Strap bombers running around the map here for Team 1's airplay of Wuka. Being very ostentatious with that. They know that they have the air advantage. Using an expensive unit to essentially just run around the map with. I don't see any efforts from Team 2 to try to counter that. They could go for a massive amount of T3AA, which is probably what I would do. You see Colossus is under construction here for 2 players on Team 2. Another crab has been built here by Team 2's been a player of Yo. Zigster builds an experimental, most likely another chicken. Yep, it is online. And in the northeastern corner, air grid just being expanded upon once again. And Team 2 focusing a little bit more on the mass generation game, but unfortunately for them, Team 1 doing the exact same thing. Huge amounts of RAS comms are being gated in him by Air. We do see a chicken almost done here for Jackatage. Going to go for a lot of AA as well and some shields to shield his mass investments. Of course, dual ringing of the mexes here for Wuka, and he has RAS online and getting more T3 farms online as well. Monkey almost halfway there here from Mutalao. And again, just more chickens here for Team 1's middle player of Zigster. Crab running around the map. 5 planes getting a nice view on what's going on this side of the map. Nobody going for game enders or even a nuke at all. Very surprising. And even if from Lil said little, you would expect something coming out of the, early coming out of the 2500. I mean, the FAF boy is nice, but 2 chickens is going to chew through those parashields and all the other shielding pretty quickly. There is a crab over here. The crab might be able to kill one of the chickens before the FAF boys has been destroyed, but I don't really think so. The crab outbound, the chicken outbound from Zigster actually changing targets, going after the crab. Strap bombers over top will kill that FAF boy. Don't think it was really worth it, because the FAF boy was going to die anyways. Could have gone after the air grid, or maybe further back. Could have gone after the facilities over here. Could have gone after the SMD. Literally anything else. That chicken was going to kill that FAF boy no matter what. This chicken does die from Team 1 Zigster. Team 1's chicken from Jackatage trying to navigate around this Colossus. The Colossus going to stand on some mountains, going to engage this fight. The chicken going to get up close and personal with said Colossus, because why not? Essentially, hey, how's it going? Nice little hug here. Nice mountain resort. Nice. All it needs is a hot springs and some well-placed camera work, essentially. Thinking of a lot of animes, and you got to have that. Either the beach episode or the episode where we go to the hot springs, or any of those kind of things. It's in the mountains is usually where it is. But that Colossus trying to get out of range. We'll get ioned a little bit, but looks like he will be fine. We'll lose decent chunk of hit points, but he will not die, that being the main thing. He does drop into the red, though, so has to be kind of careful about that. Teleporter is online for Mutalan. He has gone for Nuke. So he's being a little bit more ostentatious with his play style this game. Again, he is a Cybran, so again, going for the Telemazer and the Nuke at the same time, because why not? 2 explosions in different ways. One of them from a Nuke, and one of them from a Cybran-born quantum reactor. if he does die. Laser has been starting to hit for Ruma in the north as well. We'll probably have to transition into the teleporter afterwards, but a Crab retreating in the face of a Fat Boy who's producing units on the front line. Love to see that. Love to see that the Fat Boy factories are being used so much. Being able to deploy units to the front line without having to worry about travel time is amazing. Obviously, it takes some time, of course, but it's definitely worth it, especially for spamming up either Parashields or Cougars or Skyboxers or anything that's just needs to be built immediately kind of thing. And we do see some units grouping up here from Team 2. There is a nice little Colossus, Crab, and Monkey situation going on. But, I mean, I don't know if they'll break through Team 1's defenses. They will break through some things, but I don't know if they'll break through a lot of things. That's the problem. Team 1 has gained so much territory in the middle. Does it even matter to send units down the middle? Team 2 does have a Colossus over here to the west from Los Little with a ton of AA presence and some ASF, so double AA going on here, both from the air and the ground. Team 1, I'd love to see a little bit more emphasis over here, but there are some gunships coming in here from Squealer going after this base. There are some flak cannons here, so they're not going to be completely defenseless, and some, oh, it's all flak, so it's all T2. But the shields are down. Again, this base is, again, a little bit more of a distraction more than anything else. Would have loved to see at least a couple of T3 emplacements for some AA, but again, or even just a factory or something to make sure that if all the engineers die, they can just be rebuilt. So it looks like that attack will not really yield permanent results for Team 2, but at least at a minimum some results. Don't see much of anything else going on here for Team 2. More and more kennel stations being built. Don't know what that was about, but that was weird. Large emphasis on experimentals here for Team 2's yellow player of Yo. Really going for his own SMD. I don't see any sort of nukes. I don't see any sort of big plays coming out of Team 2 at the moment. What is this? That is a stealth field, so never mind. I thought it was a nuke, but it is not. Gating in some SACUs here for Losa Little. And we do see the teleportation is outbound here from Mutulao. Who else could it be? Yep, just making sure that it is him, and that is him. He is gating in. Does Team 2's Losa Little notice? He is getting into some T3 P-gens. Definitely not the best environment to be in. Those will explode. Those will hurt. But again, he's going after the air grid at a minimum. And we do see comments going down here about the experimentals being transferred over here to the Chevy Crimson player of Colvino. And how long is this teleport going to take? The longer this goes on, the longer Team 2 has to defend. And there goes the P-gens. Oh, no, what? No. Don't know what is going on. The laser, there it goes. I don't know what the laser was doing, but it was not doing the things it was supposed to be doing. Oh, it takes a little bit of damage, takes a little bit more damage. Pigeons are the main target here for Muchalao's comm. He now is at 5-star veterancy. Oh, actually, no, he's almost at 5-star veterancy. Stinger's online. He will die from this. There are some triads that were easily spammed up, but there he goes. Team 1 will lose their first play of the game at 36 minutes. And kaboom. That is it. It is a tied-up game at 5v5. The air grid has been severely diminished for Little Sid Little, but at least at a minimum, it is not completely destroyed for Team 2. I do love the attempt, but they could have gone after, I think, Squealer would have probably been a better choice. There is some T2 PD around as well, so maybe not. I heard an explosion. Where is it? Where is it? I heard it. I heard it in my left ear, so it's over here. I see it. The crab that's being built gets destroyed. I don't know what's going on with that, where, like, if a unit is under construction, like an experimental, it just dies when that player dies. Usually it's just transferred over. Nuke is half loaded, though, for Team 1. Looks like everything was transferred over to Air, and he's pumping out a decent air grid of his own. Going for an artillery piece. Very interesting here for Team 1. Again, they gotta do something. At this point, the land game, not necessarily is bunk, but in a lot of games, it does transition to that late stage artillery, nukes, game enders. There has been a little bit of an emphasis I've seen from some games to not go for that. But again, we love to see, you know, Mavors and a bunch of artillery and, you know, all that stuff. We love to see that, but not every game's going to do that, of course. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. And just like if you roll a die, it's not always going to roll 6 every single time. There is a universe that maybe it did, but the chances of that get slimmer as the amount of rolls go up. Don't see anything else coming out of Team 2's bases. Very surprisingly. A lot of AA being built by Lil Sid Lil. Love to see that. Colossus charging in. There's more units over here. They need to engage the main force down southwest. One Colossus is down. Tons of Strat Bombers here. The AA needs to come in immediately. Team 2's ASF do not want to engage. I don't blame them. But Team 1's Strat Bomber is doing a very good job of just reducing the hit points on that Galactic Colossus very quickly. Once these two chickens are done with this Colossus, they'll group up with these ones over to the west and push back Team 2's Colossus and Crabs and Monkeys. This monkey not even engaging. And there goes the second Colossus. Both chickens are, alive. This one doesn't even have a scratch. This one perfectly fine. First crab is, actually that's a monkey, is down. First chicken is down here for Team 1. It's 3 chickens versus 2 crabs and a monkey and 1 monkey. A couple of Strat Bombers landing around the map here. Colossus is down. Ionstorm does engage, but it's friendly units, so it doesn't really matter. 3 chickens versus a crab. Obviously, those odds are not good for Team 2's crab. And the monkey does die from Team 1's Jack Attack. At least we had that Jack Attack. And the chicken does engage those crabs and crab and monkey. The monkey will just walk up and kill that chicken off. But the main group of forces has been killed off. More Strat Bombers outbound here from the air player of air. And it will essentially one-tap the remaining hit points on board that crab. The monkey does die. And this is a lot of mass on Team 1's side of the map. It opened the doors for Team 2 to move in. But Team 1 has so many more forces on and obviously 2 chickens as well. It doesn't really matter at this point. Team 2 needs more experimentals. And the first major air fight, I'd say, of the game occurs. Team 1... It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it's about even. There are some AA placements here and mobile AA for Team 2 and for Team 1 nearby. And it looks like Team 1 will come out ahead. Team 1 has air control at a minimum. Boss likely dominance, but at least minimum. And with all of this reclaim here, that is not going to go good here for Team 2. How much is sitting on the map so far? I'll zoom it down so we can get an accurate count. Call it that. So 200,000 mass on screen, including everything, of course, over the scoreboard. But that is game enders level of mass. And Team 1's going to secure at least 90% of it. They already are having engineers on stations for multiple players. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Team 1 funnel that into something big. Fat Boy coming online here for Chakatash. Artillery half done here for Air. We see a Salvation T4 rapid fire artillery installation coming online here for Wuka. You usually only see these after building a Paragon, but he's like, nah, I don't need a Paragon. It's fine. I have like 200,000 mass sitting over there. I can go scoop up. Nuke is loaded here for Team 1. And nothing really else. Oh, speaking of which, the Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? It's going after Colvino's base. SMD over here. Will it cover it? No, it will not. Covino will lose his base. Definitely unfortunate here for Team 2. Colossus was just constructed, and they are facing down 2 chickens. Once again, Team 1 loves their chickens, and Team 2 doesn't, because Team 2 doesn't have Seraphim comps. ACUs on the front line being destroyed. They are combatant presets, though, so they do have some attack power to their name, but again, they aren't really going after anything else. If these chickens engage... Actually, they can continue to move in. Their main goal should be that SMD up here. That would be a prime target to go after. The first nuke of the game will land. Love to see it. Colossus is going to take it. Not going to feel good. Kaboom! The entire base, besides the mass distractors, are gone. For Team 2's Covino, neutering him for the time being. In the northwest, we see Ruma with the laser and cloaking online. Team 1 doesn't have any Omni nearby, so that's not really going to help them. But Team 2's Ruma has essentially been locked in a constant battle in the north for the entire game. And those chickens moving in to again capitalize on the power vacuum that has occurred. The Colossus still sitting here for Team 2's player. Colvino will be killed off, unfortunately, here for him. It will turn around, but again, there's 2 chickens v 1. Ravagers being spammed up to protect that SMD up north. And that Colossus trying to escape, but again, it's not going to escape 2 chickens. Sorry, not really going to work. That's Optim is going to be grabbed and then immediately put back on the ground. Hey, I'm good. I'm fine. Just went for a little ride there, guys. I'm all good. I'm all good. Oh, and he dies anyway to the crash damage, so it doesn't even matter. Changes some of the top here for a little, trying to force back the chickens from engaging. At this point, just send the chickens in, which is what Jackatash is doing. going to get more value out of them for going after the rest of what Team 2 has. Laser coming online here for Mr. Death. And a Mavor T4 artillery is being built here by Team 2's highest rated player of Little Sid Little. First chicken has been destroyed. Second chicken going to get still a ton of value out of it. Dropping very, very quickly. Is a 5-star FMC, so 100,000 hit points to chew through. And Quantum Gateway will probably go down. Satellites over top. The main goal is just going to be full sending it against that Mavor. But again, it's losing hit points very, very quickly here. And it is dropping. There it goes. 10,000 and more will hit in the middle of a section of the air grid. But that is a lot of damage, a lot of fire from the skies. And the Quantum Gateway does go down. SACUs go down as well. And Covino getting out of range of that Iron Storm, being like, nope, not dealing with that. Now the question is, how fast can Team 2 build the Mavor to come back in this game? Oh, will they kill off the Pigeon? I think the laser will. It's about to blow. There it goes, and it goes in and cascades and kills off the Mavor. Ouch. 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 Go after the Pigeon right here. Artillery also didn't help that situation, so Artillery, Ion Storm, and Laser combined to take out the air grid and Mavor for Team 2. That has got there. I didn't think the cascade would go all the way, but it did. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. And in the southwest, we see that Salvation is almost online. It's in the green, over 75% completed. Team 2 needs a miracle or two to come back in this game at 43 minutes on the clock. And looks like more SACUs are going down. Little so Little going to hide underneath his giant set of kennels. Of course, I don't know if this is really going to... I don't know what he was doing with these. I mean, he was building some more mass fabs and whatnot. But again, he could have just built his Mavor literally anywhere else. Could have built it up here in the corner. Could have built it over here. But he put it in his air grid. And, of course, the cascade is really what did him in. Had he not done that, he probably would have been fine. Even if he put it just right here, he would have been fine. And, of course, ASF's now continuing to control the area here for Team 2. But, again, two big holes on Team 2's eastern side of the map. Artillery still raining in, killing off all of the reclaim. And that Salvation will come online here pretty shortly, getting some T3 Pigeons for some adjacency bonuses to increase the fire rate, decrease the reloading time. I guess it's more recharge time. It's not really reloading. It's plasma, so it's... I mean, I guess... No, is it plasma? I don't know. What's the... I think it fires... Well, the shell's split, so I think it is actual... Maybe it is reloading. But that Salvation will finish. It looks like it's like embedded in the desert. In the desert scape, you can kind of see it. It's not as... I feel like the structure's a tiny bit more taller than that, but... Again, that could just be an environment. It's definitely an environment thing. You can see it's kind of clipping on the bottom there. But anyway, artillery is done. Shields are going to be started. Would like to see shields built before it's done, but again, something is better than nothing, I guess, at this point. Team 2 has no game enders, no artillery. Do have one satellite. Second, we're going to be built here pretty shortly. But again, looks like Salvation, counter Salvation has been started for Little Sid Little in the north. Unfortunately, Team 1 already has theirs online. Everything transferred over to Yo. Looks like that was from Little Sid Little, it looked like for a second. Yeah, it was. Looks like it was from Little Sid Little. Northwest, where you see Ruma still holding strong, continuing to hold this position. If Team 1's Mr. Death just builds an Omni, essentially right here, that cloaking commander of Ruma would just be killed off instantaneously. Artillery now going after the air grid here for Squealer. He's I don't think that's him. Maybe that... No, that's most of the Little just spamming out T2 mass fabricator farms. More Pigeons being built probably for power restraints. But at this point in the game, Team 1 is winning the land game and now winning the game ender game at this point. Little Sid Little is under direct fire from the Salvation. It looks like shells, but it could be laser plasma. Oh, it just kind of just splits. feel like that's more of a projectile based. I mean, you can have plasma as projectile, but that makes me feel like a physical projectile versus like a plasma projectile. Anyway, all of those kennels are going to go down. It's not going to be a good day here for Lucid Little. And a nice little view on that Salvation, if I can see it, because of the whole mountainous nonsense that I have to deal with getting a nice little image going on. It is embedded in that environment. Look at that. Can't even get a nice screenshot of it just because it's being... stop it! It's being annoying. That's essentially... I think I already got a good screenshot anyway. Sometimes I get a good screenshot during the game, and sometimes I go back after the fact. Just depends on how I feel about the screenshots I did get during the game. But I think that one's pretty good. But in the north, it looks like the... Was the Salvation... Oh, nope. The Salvation was... Oh, it will now be spotted here by Team 1. And they now know about it, so that's not going to be good. It is in the yellow, so it did get up to 25% completed. And the Salvation now targeting, I think, the SMBs, actually. Or just going after comms directly, one or the other. There is an SMB down there. Looks like Sid lost most of his kennels. And GG says Squealer has a lot of artillery coming out of Team 1's side of the map. Most of that, of course, is the Salvation firing very, very quickly. But there is 2 Dukes online here for Team 1. Makes me feel like I'm playing Coup, saying there's 2 Dukes. If anybody's played the card game Coup, there were actually 3 Dukes in that game. Very, very powerful Duke card in that game. You can draw 3 coins. Anyway, for those of you who have played, you know what I'm talking about. Fun game. Very social deduction. Very kind of nice, fun party game. Kind of just kick back and relax and accuse people of lying and whatnot. Very fun. In the north, Salvation still going on, but again, I don't think it's going to finish anytime soon. We have, again, 2... Is that a different artillery? No, we have the 2 over here. I don't see anything else. Where else would Team 1 put it is the question. Oh, no, there is one. I thought I saw one. It's a Hovertham outbound here from Team 1's Wuka, who also... Oh, maybe it was... No, maybe that was transferred over from Zixter. Never mind. That's probably transferred over from Zixter. But still, 2 artillery. Team 1 kills off... Yo charges forward and just control Ks. It's now a 5v4 in favor of Team 1. And again, Salvation with multiple artillery just raining down on Team 2's, everything. It's really not really feeling good here for Team 2. I feel like the first team to win for Game Ender 1, which is exactly what happened. I was using a lot of stuff. Road, says Squealer. Road. Looks like the artillery has shifted over to the Salvation over here to the north. And unfortunately for Team 2, that is not going to be their Salvation. There's my dad joke for the episode. There it is, right there, in full view. And that Salvation is really pumping out fire really, really quickly. Looks like Squealer is just the recipient of some artillery. Almost, that would have been a direct impact, I think, had he not got that shield online. Little control Ks. He sees the writing on the wall. His Salvation is gone. It is now a 5v3 in favor of Team 1.
Strategic launch
and
detected.
Nuke outbound here from Team 1, going from the one and only Nuke launcher from Ed in the southwest. Originally built by Mutu Lao. That is possibly going to land. This one might cause it to be shot down. It's going to be close, depending on the trajectory. Let's see. Oh no, it's going to be out of range. Is there another SMB over here though? No, that Nuke will land. Team 2's Calvino goes nope. See you bye. They're probably just going to accept his fate over there in his base. Ruma's still holding strong in the north, still keeping back, and there is a desync. Unfortunately, we can see the direction of the game, so it's not really that big of a deal. There's not really any vector that I see that Team 2 can really come back from this. There's no massive strat bombers coming in. There's no gunships, artillery. There's nothing on that on the cards. Artillery going after the last remaining SMD. The Nuke lands, kaboom, killing off the Squealer. It is now a 5v2 in favor of Team 1, leaving Calvino and Ruma in the north remaining. And at this point, I think I can just speed it up just a tiny bit, just because it's just it's been the beginning of the end, but it's now the middle of the end, and it will soon be the end of the end. And there's Calvino just running around the map trying to avoid artillery fire. Team 1 just launching at everything and everything they can. Ruma still trying to hold strong. Crab on the front line with a ton of bricks and bouncers to support it. No Omnis for Team 1's player of Mr. Death. Definitely missed opportunity there. Even an Omni in here would have been great. Would have been in range. And the front line is just collapsing at this point. 50 minutes on the clock. And it's really academic at this point. We have some Harbingers that have decided to just go hiking up there on that mountainside. And now the artillery directly firing on Corvino. Corvino like, I am trying to move. Stop coming after me. Some tickle cannons now going after Othams. All of the units now going to be going northward. At least the... Actually, no, the Othams are going to go, no, we're going to let the artillery kill you. We're not going to worry about it. ACU is trying to defend. Just standing there, just receiving punishment at this point. 2 crabs and a monkey walk into a bar with some 3 chickens. What happens? Well, a comm dies. That's essentially what happens. And Team 1 really wants to kill Scalvino desperately right now, trying to chase him down. Artillery actually killing off teammates' units. Oh, there's some friendly fire in this game. But there goes Corvino. There he goes. Killed off by the chickens from Zixter. And it is now a 5v1 in favor of Team 1. And Ruma underneath shield coverage. Psych not underneath shield coverage. Does Team 1 even know where they are? No, they have an idea. Spy planes over top. We'll see him for a brief second. Yep, there he is. Artillery landing all around him. He is in the yellow. 15,000 mass killed. He has the laser, the gun, and the cloak. And it's just going to be run around until he dies, essentially. I'll speed it up to do. He does have some deceivers to be able to shield himself as well. But again, an Omni would easily be able to detect him right there, but I don't know why Team 1 didn't build that. I feel like that's a missed opportunity right there, is not going for the Omni. This side would have collapsed a while ago if it wasn't for the Omni, if there was an Omni right there. But Ruma trying to bob and weave, dodge, trying to do all the stuff he can. And it's just, again, academic at this point. Shots landing all around him. His units just getting ripped apart by the artillery. The land incursion over here in the east is just getting worse and worse by the day. And he's trying to survive the best he can. Chickens coming in from around, coming in to intercept the comm. The comm cannot retreat to his main base. There's no hopes of that. Lasers do spot him. The lasers from the skies do have Omni. And that will do him in. It's just now going to be how long can he last? Can he make it to 53 minutes or can he not? He's going to charge those chickens. He's going to give it all he got. There he goes. Chickens just full send it into that comm, and that is the last remaining player on Team 2. Space lasers, says Mr. Death. Yes, space lasers. And that is the game, folks, at 53 minutes. Team 1 wins the game. Almost a flawless victory for Team 1, except they lost their player of Mutulal on the telemaser explosion. And again, definitely a missed opportunity here for Team 2's Little said little to not put the Mavor literally in the air grid. Not the best place to put that. But anyways, for MVP, I mean, again, everybody did a very good job overall. I don't think there was one outstanding player. Like, this player did a whole lot for the game. I mean, Building Salvation definitely won the game here for Team 1 from Wuka, so maybe I'll be inclined to give it to him. But besides that, everybody played very admirably. I don't see... I mean, maybe Mutulal because it could have teleported in a little bit further away from those pigeons. But besides that, I think everybody on Team 1 did a very good job. Team 2, definitely a little bit of areas for improvement. Obviously, they lost the game, but I feel like the main cause of Team 2's woes was probably down here in the south, or the southeast here for Corvino. His side just collapsed a little bit too much. Obviously, we had Count Swaggerlet die over here to the west. He should have retreated. Once he saw that Mutulal was out of range, he should have just retreated. Maybe it would have given them enough APM, but it did give another base over to Little Sid Little, which he didn't really use that much. I mean, he got some more mass, but he wasn't really building anything else other than ASF. So maybe had Little Sid Little gone for the Mave or gone for the Salvation a little bit sooner, maybe Team 2 could have fought back, but... Let me know down in the comments what you felt about the game. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching, and share this video with anyone, everyone, and most especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.